The small town of Ravensfield was a quiet place, nestled among the rolling hills of the English countryside. Its residents lived simple lives, content with the slow pace of rural living. But beneath the tranquil surface of Ravensfield lay a dark secret, one that would soon be unearthed by a group of unsuspecting strangers. It began when a young couple, Alice and John, decided to take a weekend getaway in the countryside. They stumbled upon Ravensfield while driving aimlessly down winding country roads. The town seemed quaint and charming, so they decided to stop and explore. As they walked through the streets, Alice and John couldn't help but notice that something was off. The townspeople all seemed to be staring at them with dark, distrustful eyes. They felt like outsiders, unwelcome in this close knit community. That night, they checked into a bed and breakfast run by a kindly old woman named Mrs. Peters. She welcomed them warmly, but warned them not to venture after dark. "There are things in these parts that are best left unseen," she said with a cryptic smile. Alice and John didn't take her warning seriously. They assumed she was just trying to scare them, so they went out for a walk after dinner. As they walked, they heard strange noises in the darkness, rustling in the bushes, the flapping of wings. They quickened their pace, unnerved by the eerie sounds. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of them. It was a man, but he was shrouded in darkness. They couldn't see his face, but they could feel his eyes on them, cold and calculating. They turned and ran back to the bed and breakfast, their hearts pounding in their chests. The next day, they decided to investigate the strange occurrences in Ravensfield. They talked to the locals, trying to get to the bottom of the town's secrets. They learned that Ravensfield had a dark history, a history of witchcraft and black magic. They discovered an old abandoned church on the outskirts of town, where strange symbols were etched into the walls. They found ancient books of spells hidden in the library of the town hall. And they learned of a group of townspeople who were rumored to practice dark magic in secret. Alice and John knew they had stumbled upon something sinister, something that could put them in danger. But they were determined to uncover the truth. They continued to investigate, even as the townspeople grew increasingly hostile towards them. As the sun began to set on the second day of their stay, Alice and John were walking through the town square when they heard a piercing scream. They turned to see a woman running towards them, her face contorted in terror. "The monsters! The monsters are here!" she cried. They turned to run, but it was too late. A horde of creatures emerged from the shadows, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. They were like nothing Alice and John had ever seen before. Half human, half beast, their bodies twisted and deformed, The creatures attacked without warning, tearing through the streets with an animalistic fury. Alice and John ran for their lives, dodging claws and teeth as they fled. They could hear the townspeople screaming in terror, their cries echoing through the night. Alice and John managed to escape the town, but they knew they couldn't leave Ravensfield without exposing the truth. They contacted the authorities, telling them everything they had learned about the dark history of the town. The police arrived soon after, but it was too late. The creatures had disappeared back into the shadows, leaving behind only destruction and chaos. In the end, Alice and John never returned to Ravensfield, but the memory of their terrifying experience stayed with them for the rest of their lives. Regenerate Response.